The room went silent when they walked in. My parents. Two strangers wearing familiar faces, smiling like they owned me. "We're your guardians," my father announced, his voice steady, rehearsed. My mother nodded beside him, eyes glittering with greed. Guardians. The word cut deeper than any knife. Because 15 years ago, they weren't guardians. They weren't even parents. They left me on a doorstep like unwanted luggage. And now they sat across from me at my aunt's will reading, waiting to collect what they thought was theirs. The house, the money, my aunt's legacy. They didn't notice the folder in front of me. They didn't see the trap already set. I was 12 the day they disappeared. One fight too many. One bill too late. And just like that, they walked out. I still remember the way my father's taillights vanished down the street. My mother didn't look back. My aunt found me crying on the porch. She didn't ask questions. She just pulled me into her arms and said, "You're mine now. I'll take care of you." And she did. She gave me more than food and shelter. She gave me dignity. She taught me control, discipline, patience. Revenge, she once told me, isn't about anger. It's about timing. When she died, something inside me broke. But grief wasn't the only thing that arrived at her funeral. My parents showed up too, bold as ever. Hugs, crocodile tears, empty words about family. That's when I realized what they wanted. Not me, her money. And that's when the planning began. I didn't push them away, not yet. Instead, I let them back in. I let them talk. I let them dream out loud about the life they'd live with our inheritance. They called me kiddo again. They asked about my plans. They tried to rewrite history with fake warmth. But every word they spoke was evidence. Every sentence exposed their greed. I saved every message, every voicemail, every desperate email asking when the estate would be settled. I kept my face calm, my voice steady, because you don't show your hand before the cards hit the table. At the will reading, I sat tall in my chair, hands folded. They were buzzing with excitement, whispering to each other like gamblers about to win big. Then the lawyer walked in. My lawyer, not theirs. The color drained from their faces when they saw him. I had anticipated their move months earlier. Legally, they had no claim. They'd abandoned custody years ago. But greed makes people reckless. They had filed a petition to be recognized as my legal guardians retroactively, thinking they could step in now that money was on the table. What they didn't expect was the evidence I had prepared. Emails begging me to hurry things along. Texts about how we deserve this after everything we sacrificed. A recorded call where my father said the words, "She owes us. We made her. She wouldn't have survived without us." I slid the folder across the table. My lawyer opened it like a blade. Every page was a cut. Every signature a wound. Their smiles cracked. Their hands shook. By the time the lawyer finished reading, they weren't parents. They weren't guardians. They were strangers caught red-handed. My father tried to recover first. He leaned forward, voice shaking. This is a mistake. We're family. Family." That word used to mean something. Now it was poison on his tongue. I looked him in the eye and said nothing. Silence was louder than anger. My mother reached for me then, tears pooling in her eyes. For a second, I saw fear, not of losing me, but of losing money. That was the moment I knew they were finished. The lawyer closed the file. "For the record," he said, "these actions constitute fraud and could be grounds for legal charges. My client has chosen, mercifully, not to pursue them." Mercifully. That was my final gift to them. Not prison, not public shame. Just emptiness. They left the room pale, trembling, broken. They arrived expecting millions, and walked away with nothing but the weight of their failure. Afterward, the lawyer asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said no. My aunt once told me, "Some debts are paid not in court, but in silence." This was one of them. I live in the house now. It's quiet. Too big for one person maybe, but when I walk through its halls, I feel her presence. Her books on the shelves, her perfume lingering in the closets, her voice in the back of my mind reminding me patience, timing, control. I didn't just inherit her money, I inherited her strength. And when I think back to that day, the way my parents' faces collapsed when the truth cornered them, I don't feel guilt. I feel peace. Because revenge doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it just walks out of a room and leaves you with nothing. That day, I left them exactly what they gave me 15 years ago. Nothing.